We urge the government to act with integrity and keep in place the world's first ban on live export by sea that we are so proud of. Following New Zealand's lead, the UK and Australia have passed relevant legislation earlier this year. Public pressure around the world is to move away from live animal export, whether for slaughter or breeding, due to the growing awareness of its inherent cruelty. The so-called gold standard the government is promising is a shameful deception. The distressing footage taken on board the infamous Al Kuwait earlier this year is damning proof that even the most advanced, purpose-built ships cannot prevent the suffering and serious harm animals endure on these long sea voyages. These include overcrowding, standing, lying and giving birth in their own waste, exposure to extreme heat, noise and motion sickness, hunger and thirst, disease and injuries from being thrown around during rough seas, to name just a few. Their suffering does not end at the ship's destination, where exporters have no jurisdiction on how animals are treated. The evidence is overwhelming. Dr. Lynn Simpson, speaking in Parliament earlier this year, described the conditions she had seen on her 57 voyages over the span of 10 years. Dr. John Hellstrom, former New Zealand Chief Veterinary Officer, witnessed firsthand how animals are treated on arrival in China, a country with inferior or non-existent animal protection laws. Both have been arguing for a permanent ban on live exports. Opposition to the government's plans continues to grow. The Maritime Union, which represents watersiders and stevedores who have in the past loaded livestock carriers, including Gulf Livestock 1, which sank off the coast of Japan, taking down 41 crew and 5,867 cows, has officially voted against the resumption of live animal exports. According to the latest survey commissioned by the SPCA, only 17% of New Zealanders think the ban should be overturned. Estimates suggest that live export contributed only 0.2 to 0.5% of total primary production revenue. To resume this unnecessary, cruel, and outdated trade would be a poor moral decision, damaging our international reputation. Christopher Luxon, this is your coalition, your government. You are the Prime Minister and you are accountable for the outcome of this ban. And if it remains, or if New Zealand takes the unprecedented step of reversing the ban and takes a step backwards and says yes to an increase in animal cruelty and yes to tarnishing our international reputation, make the right choice.
Yeah.
Sure will.